All right, so welcome to this introduction video to the reviewing module. So the reviewing module allows you to score your submissions in order to find the top ones, let's say for oral presentations or panel discussions. So we'll go through the different steps in this video. So the first step is to go under Configuration, Committee. And if you have the reviewing module activated, you'll be able to add reviewers in this section here. So just click on Add and enter the email addresses of the reviewers that you wish to invite. They can be separated by a comma, a space, a new line, and then you can click on Add. And when you do that, it'll send them an email with a link so they can log in and see their reviews. If you see the green check mark, it means they already logged in and activated their account. Otherwise, this icon will be gray. The second step is to build your reviewing form. So head over to website pages, abstract submission, and click on reviews. So this is the reviewing form. We can basically start by adding a section. So the section, it allows you to segment your questions into different sections, especially if you have a long reviewing form. Otherwise, you can just have one single section. And then we'll need to add fields in that reviewing form. We have the standard questions, which are the same ones that we find in the registration or abstract submission forms, but we have a special one called score. Let's go ahead and add one. So I want to ask my reviewers to grade this submission, let's say by the quality of the results. We'll add an internal name that will allow us to identify this question in our data. And then we can choose a max score. So for the questions that are of type score, reviewers can choose like 1 to 5, or you could put also 1 to 10, depending on your reviewing criterias. So we'll just choose 1 to 10 for now. And we'll make this mandatory because we want reviewers to give an answer for that question. We'll go ahead and add a second one. Let's say, quality of the figures. And we'll call that figures. And then we'll put also 1 to 10, make it mandatory. And we'll add the last one asking them, what are the strengths? And then you could add, as many other questions as you want afterwards. You can put a word limit if you want to keep that short, and we'll keep this optional. So we'll just leave it like that. All right, and then under configuration, you have a few options that you might want to take a look at. The reviewing period is the dates within which reviewers can fill the reviewing form. And over here are all the fields of your submission form that are visible to reviewers. So for example, you could hide the first name, last name. By default, they're hidden. And the authors. So if you want to do a blind review, if you hide that, it'll make sure that this information is not visible to the reviewer. You can also choose to make some other questions or information visible in the reviewing form. And then you can click on Save. All right, so we got our reviewers in the system. We got our reviewing form all set up. And the next steps, once you received all your submissions, is you head over to your submissions and you assign them to your reviewers. To do that, one thing that's useful is you can basically filter your submissions, let's say by topic. So it's useful to collect that information in the submission form if you plan to use it in the review section, because you can filter and see all those submissions about therapeutics design. Because if you have a specific set of reviewers that are specialized in this category, you'll be able to see the submissions and assign it to them. So once you filter your list of submissions, you can select them all. You can click on Assign Reviewers. And then you can select your reviewers. Click on Next. And then we have two options for distributing reviews. The randomly distribute allows you to define a number of reviews that you're expecting for each submission. And then the system will randomly distribute all submissions to all the selection of reviewers and make sure that you have at least 2 reviews per submission. You can also choose the manual, which will basically assign all submissions to all the reviewers that were selected. So let's go ahead and choose this one. You can notify reviewers by email if you want to. So that'll send them an email saying they were assigned X number of reviews, for example. We'll check this off for now. This is just confirming how many submissions you're about to, how many reviews you're about to assign, and then we'll click on assign. And then reviewers, they get an email if you activated that, or they can log in and then they can access your event. Reviewers don't have access to all the rest. They only see the dashboard with their stats about their assigned reviews. And they also see event data, reviews, which we'll take a look in a second. So from here, they can see how many are pending, how many are completed, how many have a conflict of interest. So they can click on that and see their pending reviews. Since I'm an organizer here, I see the reviews of everyone, but a reviewer would only see their assigned review. And so I can click, let's say, on a first review. I see the information on the left. I see the reviewing form on the right. I can declare a conflict of interest, and I can also revert that. Once it's declared as a conflict of interest, organizers can easily spot them. They can filter, and they can assign them to another reviewer. I'm just going to revert that for now. And so I can score quality of results, quality of figures. There's not a lot of information here, but in the reviewing form, you can add a description or be more precise about what you want reviewers to evaluate for each criteria. And then the strengths, let's just say good. And then we'll go ahead and save that. I'll go back to my reviews, and I can see, I'm filtering now to see those that are pending. So that's why I don't see the completed review. Let's just remove that for now. Save, and we see that review is completed. I can go to the second one, which is another review for that same submission. And I'm going to go ahead and give a 10 out of 10. This is optional, so I don't have to fill it out. All right. And then once the reviews are completed, you will see in your submission data, so under data submissions, you'll be able to scroll over to here and see the reviewing score. So each submission will have a reviewing score and also a standard deviation. You need to have multiple reviewers per submission in order for that to be calculated. And then you can also sort by score. And you can click on the submission to get more details about the review. So you can click on reviews. And here you have the full results for that submission. So you see there was a total of 2 reviews. This is the average score, the standard deviation. And you see the breakdown of the score by criteria. So you can really see what are the strengths or what are the weaknesses of that submission. If you scroll down, you'll see the full details of each reviewer. And then you'll also have that summary on the right-hand side over here. And then based on these results, you'll be able to better filter by score and take decisions about whether or not it's accepted or rejected for a given presentation type. Another thing that you can do is under the reviewing section here, you can filter to see all your pending reviews, save. And then when you select all, you can click on contact. So that allows you to contact your reviewers. So you can tell them, please complete your reviews by Friday. And then you can basically write a message saying, hey, you have pending reviews. Please log into Fourwaves to complete your review. And here you can add variables. So let's say you want to customize this email a little bit. You can enter the reviewer first name. Please complete your review. And you can also add the account URL. This is useful because that will be a link that will bring them directly to their Fourwaves account, and they will be able to see your event with a link to their reviews. And if you have multiple reviews for the same reviewer, so over here we have multiple reviews for Sophie and Mark, they will only receive 1 email when you click on that. They won't receive 3 each. So just a quick side note. Another interesting thing is the chairs. So under committee, you can add reviewers. You can add organizers, and you can choose their role, for example, and select chair. So your organizers that are chair can access your organizer panel and see all the submissions and also all the reviews. So chairs are basically session chairs, which can see the results, and they're able to classify each submission as accepted or rejected based on the review results. So that allows you to delegate that workload to someone else in your committee. And one last thing about reviews is you can export them to Excel. So just go to Reviews, Action, Export, and you'll be able to have an Excel file if for some reason you need that. And that's it. So that was a quick overview of the reviewing module, and let us know if you have any questions.